Hello everybody, February beauty favourites 5, that's 10, February beauty favourites. I must, before we start, apologise for these very sort of dark and oppressive squares in the background. We're doing a little bit of moving around and this is the only angle I can film from, and that takes about 5 people to move it because it's so heavy. It's a Georgian mahogany chest of drawers and we bought it at an auction for £36. So, you know, you can't turn down that kind of bargain, even though it weighs more than a small truck. So, without further ado, let's get on with my 5 favourite things for February. I realise we're well into March. This should have gone out last Sunday, but I wasn't prepared enough, okay? So forgive me. Now, the first thing is a hair thing. I could not stand the shampoo from this range. I'm sorry, John Masters Organics, but it made my hair go like wire. Quite literally sucked every ounce of moisture from the lengths of my hair. Good job then that there's the Repair hair mask. Now this is the hair mask. There's also a normal conditioner which is also very rich and buttery, but this is another level good. And it says for damaged hair, don't use the shampoo because if your hair wasn't damaged before, it'll feel like it afterwards. Maybe it's just my hair that's, you know, quite bleached. I don't know. Other people might be all right with it, but I would just skip the shampoo and look at the conditioner and the mask, because the mask, I only even leave it on for about 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, that's how long you're supposed to leave it on for. And it works really quickly and really well. It's very sort of thick and it almost feels like it's going to be too heavy for my hair because my hair's quite fine and tends to go lank. But it's great. When I'm rinsing it out, I think, oh, does this feel a little bit oily? How's this going to go down? But it's always fine. Leaves it feeling really sort of glossy and soft. So that is my first favourite. I am finished with this. Good, handy pump action bottle and really like the brand in general. But as I say, the shampoo was not for me. Thing in numero uno. Not in order of preference these, because if it was number 1, it would be this, which is the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. I've got it on now. I just think it's gorgeous. Blend that eye very well, did I? It's very smooth and creamy to apply, but doesn't feel overbearingly greasy. And it just leaves your skin looking quite glowy and dewy and fresh, and it's very inexpensive. Can't recommend this enough. It says SPF 50. I would always be slightly wary of relying on any kind of sunscreen from your foundation, because if you're like me, you apply a tiny, tiny blob and you buff it out. I am not a heavy foundation applier, so I would take that with a pinch of salt. It's nice, a little bit of extra incidental coverage, but don't rely on that for your sunscreen, okay? So that's thing number 2. I think it's beautiful, a really solid medium coverage foundation buy. Now for 2 very, very incredibly rich face creams, or face moisturisers. The first one, and I'm so bowled over by the texture of this, it's the Ren Evercalm Overnight Recovery Balm. And it is exactly that. If you've overdone it with your acid exfoliants or with a retinol that's slightly too strong when you've gone in a few days in a row and your face is falling off, this is the kind of thing that you need. It's got this really unusual texture. It's almost like a sort of slightly sticky balm to apply, but you don't really need to warm it between your hands. It really quickly turns into, it's not even like an oil, it's like a gel oil. And it feels very, even though it feels that oily slip of a texture, it actually feels quite lightweight. So it's really surprising, very, very soothing, very hydrating, but you don't get that slip of one of those balms that you melt down into an oil that sort of stays on the surface. You don't get that with this. I think it's such a good product. I think it's relatively new to the market. You only need a tiny bit. I haven't even made a dent and I've been using it for about 3 weeks now. And it's great for sensitive skin or any skin. I mean, maybe if you're on the oily side, you probably would find you don't really need this so much. I would say it's more for sort of normal to dry skin. Now, for those who would rather have a day cream and they are hunting for something really, really rich, People who complain that most moisturisers, they don't even touch their dryness, it just absorbs and then they feel like they're back to square one. I may have something for you in the form of the Luminate Arctic Hydrocare. Now, from the packaging and the name of it, Hydrocare, I sort of assumed this was going to be something along the lines of Clinique Moisture Surge. So a really powerfully hydrating but lightweight kind of texture, maybe a gel. It isn't. It's a really, really rich cream. And when I say rich, I still feel the effects of this halfway through the day when I go to touch my skin. Again, it's not exactly greasy, but you have that feel that your skin has something on it, which I like when my skin's really dry, especially on my forehead, because sometimes I just feel I can't get enough moisture into it. And I want to have that supple feel that makes it feel like it's not just going to split down the middle. So I think this is really nice. Not outrageously expensive. Moisture and Relief Rich Day Cream. Now, I really should have done a bit of a Google before I started this video, but this is some kind of rose lip balm from Dior, and it's just so pleasant to use. Look, I'm going to hold my hands up. It just feels like a really luxurious treat on the lips. There are much better lip balms probably. I mean, this Eucerin one that's just hanging about that I lost the lid off ages ago, the Eucerin Intensive Lip Balm is incredible, and I imagine a fraction of the price that this is. I don't even know whether this is a lip balm. I've got a feeling this came with some nail polishes a few years ago, and it was for your cuticles. Anyway, I don't even know whether you can get it anymore. I'll look it up and I'll put the information in the description box for you. But it just feels like a really nice treat. And I'm sorry to have something so frivolous. You don't need to spend that much money, however much it is, don't know, I haven't looked it up, on a lip balm or indeed cuticle balm or whatever it is that it's supposed to be. But sometimes a little treat is nice, and if you were going to go for this, I can tell you it's very lovely. If you're the kind of person like me who more often than not does a tiny bit of lip liner and then just some balm over the top to make your lips look a little bit juicier and plumper, it's nice to have something a bit posh, isn't it? To make up for the fact you're not wearing lipstick. Oh, I've suddenly got really blocked up. This sinus thing that just won't go away. Right, that is my 5 favourites for the month of February. I shall be back at the end of March. I've decided to reinstate my favourites. I thought that they were getting a little bit formulaic, but in fact I really like doing them because I think it's nice to see out of all those things that someone's tested what the firm favourites are, and I'm going to limit it to 5 to make it a little bit less painful for you. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you hit the subscribe button, then all of my videos will go straight into something or other. Maybe you'll get notified. I have no idea. I've only been doing this for 10 years and I still have absolutely no idea what happens if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. But do it because it makes me look good. All right, and I'll see you next time.